morning, and welcome back to the What Do I Know podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Davis. You know the slogan, just the average fan talking all ball all the time. And today, I want to get into the NBA playoffs. Oh man, it has been interesting watching these series develop. Specifically, this Thunder and Trailblazers series. Coming into the NBA playoffs, this is one of those series that I just thought would go the distance. I was thinking 7-6 at the worst. But I thought the Thunder would be a little more competitive than what they have been. First off, let me say this. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum are a problem. Damian Lillard, a.k.a. Logo Lillard, which is his nickname because he shoots so many deep threes. This dude came to play after getting swept by the New Orleans Pelicans last season, and then the year before that, they got swept too. I don't remember by who, but they got swept 2 years in a row. To see what they're doing now is just amazing. One thing I love about them is that they're depending on their team just a little bit more than in past years, but that's because their team is also better than past years. Lillard has really shown that he is the best player in this series so far. I mean, they're up 3-1, but that doesn't mean the series is over, so there's still time for Paul George or Russell Westbrook to kind of step up. But speaking of the Thunder, what is going on? Man, I have never seen so much hero ball in my life from the Thunder. Russell Westbrook is shooting these ridiculous shots. But for those of you who are complaining about Russell Westbrook's game, at what point in his career has he ever showed you something different? There has never been a time where Russell Westbrook was an efficient scorer. I mean, maybe his MVP season, but that really wasn't efficient. He just shot a better percentage from the field than what he shoots now. The 5 of 14, the 5 of 20, the 8s of 23s and 24s, that's how he plays. That's what he does. He can still get to the rim, but he's not the Westbrook of 3-4 years ago. He's getting older. He can't just explode by everybody. People can stay in front of him. And his jumper was never good enough to where he could just kill you with it. So I don't understand why everybody is coming down on Westbrook. I will say this. His team, as far as shooting the ball goes, man, outside of Paul George, it's been ugly. They've had one good shooting game where they shot 50% from three, and that's the game that they won. That will never happen again. I don't think that'll ever happen again. And the Trailblazers almost won that game. Paul George has been playing okay. His shooting numbers haven't been great, but he's playing defense. He's getting rebounds. He's trying to make plays, but he can step up too. I was telling a couple of my friends that love Paul George that everyone wants to use the excuse as his shoulder, but when he was making shots in Game 3 and Game 2, and you see him rubbing his shoulder like, my shoulder's okay, I don't want to hear any excuses. He felt it was good enough to taunt. And my thing is, if you hurt, then don't play. don't play. If you're really hurt, not like Kawhi Leonard's hurt. But if you're really hurt, then don't play. You're just being a detriment to the team. I think Paul George feel like he needs to play for them to win, which he does. But first off, you're playing hurt, so that's only going to make the injury worse for you. And then second off, you look how you look now. Volume shooting, it's not his thing. But he has been a saving grace. Last night he scored 32, I believe. So he's been playing okay. But this was a guy, during the All-Star break, he was a top candidate for MVP. So he got to play better. He got to play better. It's going to be tough, though, because they're going back to Portland for Game 5. Man, I don't know. And for me, I don't understand how people can put Russell Westbrook in the top players of this game. Yes, he plays hard. Yes, he's averaged a triple-double for 3 seasons. But what does that equate to when he's been by himself? As in after Kevin Durant has left, he's lost in the first round every season. This season might be the same as well. In the playoffs, he's had these horrible shooting games. Because when the game slows down in the playoffs, every possession is not a fast break. Which is going to take me to the series that I think is going to be interesting. Also yesterday, the Celtics swept the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers had a great season to still stay in the playoffs after Victor Oladipo got hurt. I love to see that for them. But I just hate that we didn't get to see Victor Oladipo in the playoffs. Because that man was playing amazing. So that's something I'm really looking forward to next year. But great run for the Pacers. But the Celtics do advance. And after tonight, they will be playing the Bucks because the Bucks are going to sweep the Pistons. No question. I mean, with Blake Griffin or without Blake Griffin, they're just not good enough. They're just not good enough. Which brings me to the same thing that I'm saying about Giannis. Now, I can't wait to see how the Celtics guard Giannis because, like I was saying, it's the same thing for Westbrook. But, of course, Giannis is way more dominant. But when the game slows down and you're playing a good defensive team, not the Pistons, because you can do whatever you want to on the Pistons, but when you're playing a good defensive team, what are you going to do when everything's not a layup or a dunk? Because everything's not going to be a layup or a dunk. And if they do that against the Celtics, then they'll end up playing the Raptors, which front line is amazing. But I'm interested to see what they do with Giannis. And when Malcolm Brogdon come back, if he's healthy, they have a great chance of beating the Celtics. Because he's so important to what they do. A 50, 40, 90 guy. Knocks down big shots at the end of the game. Plays pretty good defense. Him and Bledsoe. Mirotic is still hurt. So I want to see how that's going to affect them. But I think they were a good team without Mirotic. They'll be a good team with them or without him. That's how I feel. But I love the Bucks-Celtics matchup. I can't wait to see if Kyrie tries to put them on their back. I can't wait to see if Jason Tatum plays well, if Gordon Hayward is going to play well, that's going to be a big key. That's going to be an X factor. Gordon Hayward can play well. I mean, it's easy to look great without playing a good defense. As far as the Pistons, and the Pacers' defense was pretty good, but they just couldn't score. So it's going to be interesting to see this series. And of course, in the East, it's going to be the top 4 teams. I think the Nets win the next game, but the series ends in 6. A lot of bad blood. I love that. I love Jared Dudley saying Ben Simmons is average in the half court, because he is. I don't think it's any shade there. That's just the truth. But I also love Ben Simmons coming back the next game, putting up 30. I love the pushing. I love the shoving. Now, I don't want anyone to get hurt. But I love to see people have passion for what they're doing. And in sports, sometimes, emotions boil over. And that happens. I think the 76ers, there's no way they can beat the Raptors. Their chemistry is not good enough. And defensively, the Raptors match up very well with the 76ers. Very well. The front line of the Raptors, oh man. It's going to give Joel Embiid some problems, offensively and defensively. Because Joel Embiid just not going to be able to chill in the paint against Siakam, against Marc Gasol, against Serge Ibaka. They're going to bring him out. And I can assume that Kawhi Leonard is probably going to be on Jimmy Butler at times. Danny Green's going to be at Jimmy Butler at times. So it's going to be up to Ben Simmons to kind of take over the series. And like I said, when you can't shoot a jump shot or don't even attempt to shoot jump shots in the playoffs, it's a detriment. Can he be dominant without shooting? Yes. Early in the playoffs. Once you play good defenses, you need to be able to make a jump shot. So this is going to be very, very important for him to develop something. I mean, he's been in the league 3 years. He still plays the same way. Which is okay. If you are the only person on your team that can't shoot, a la Giannis. So, I think they're definitely going to lose in the second round. For sure. But that Bucks and Celtics, I can't wait. I cannot wait for that. And so the East second round is obviously set. I mean, the Raptors has been killing the Magic. I don't think the Magic should have won the first game that they won. It took a miracle shot by DJ Augustine to win that game. Every other game they've been getting blown out in. I mean, sometimes that happens. Some teams are just better. There's nothing you can really do about it, no matter how hard you play. But the East has been what I thought it was going to be so far. The Nets was the only intriguing series, and it's not really intriguing. I will say this about the Nets, though. Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, and D'Angelo Russell, them boys are here to stay. If the Knicks can just pick up two quality players, a superstar, and then just like another good player. They don't even have to be another star player. They're going to make some noise in the East next year. They have a nice little core there. I like Jared Allen as he's a little small. Get him in the weight room this summer. Put some weight on him. But they could be something nice, man. Something nice. But now we can talk about the Western Conference, the Golden State and Clippers series. It's really showed me something. I mean, Golden State is up 3-1. But the Clippers have made them fight for it. I'll say that. Patrick Beverley was under Kevin Durant's skin at the beginning. But once KD realized that he was KD, he's telling us, you know who I am. Do you know who you are? Once he finally realized that, then the series was over. Kevin Durant might be the best scorer that we've ever seen. And it just amazes me that he still went to the Golden State Warriors, a team that won 73 games. But this is where we're at right now. I think they'll close out the series. Well, yeah, they'll close out the series because it's going to be in Oracle, Game 5. So I think they close out the series tomorrow. I think the Rockets lose tonight. And then win Game 5 at home. So they'll close out their series on Wednesday. And then we'll have a Western Conference Finals rematch, baby. Man, if James Harden, man, I've said this before and I continue to say it. If James Harden can make the shots that he made during the regular season, make those same contested shots in the playoffs against the Warriors, Chris Paul being healthy, defense playing very well like they've been playing, man, Golden State is the favorite to win the championship. The loss of Boogie, that's going to hurt. People think that's going to make them better. I don't think so. I think on those nights when they're having bad shooting nights, being able to throw the ball in the post and get buckets, having a big man who can come out to the three-point line, make a couple of threes, but really who can pass the ball, that makes a huge difference than having someone who can only set screens and once they catch the ball can't really do anything in Kevon Looney and Andrew Bogut. Now, Andrew Bogut's been playing well so far, but he hasn't played the minutes that he might play next series. I don't know, man. Is it possible to beat the Warriors? It is. I mean, we've seen the formula last year. You know, Sean Livingston's not young. Andre Iguodala's not young. The Rockets can get KD to play that iso ball. Take the ball out of Klay's hands. Because last night, Klay had 32. And it looked easy. It didn't look hard. And I think Klay Thompson is the ultimate X factor for the Warriors. Because if he goes off, they're not losing. They're not. Steph Curry can play bad. KD can play bad. But if Klay Thompson goes off, it's a wrap. So if the Rockets can contain Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, man, it's gonna be closer than most people think. And then people saying, the Rockets shot themselves in the foot, not getting the second seed, but I actually like that the Rockets are getting to see the Warriors earlier. Not just because of Chris Paul's injury history, but just because, their legs are fresher. Especially if they can finish off the Jazz tonight, which I don't think they will, but if they do, they'll have time to rest. Their legs will be fresh. The Warriors haven't caught their rhythm yet. Not yet, at least. I mean, they look really good, but they haven't even reached the level that they can get to. So, I mean, if you're going to go to the finals, you're going to have to go through the Warriors regardless. But if the Rockets can somehow beat Golden State in the series, they're going to the NBA Finals. I don't see the Spurs, nor do I see Portland, nor do I see Denver beating them. I just don't see it. The Spurs might push them to 6. And if you've watched Denver in the playoffs, oh my God. The Denver and the Spurs matchup shows you just how much Greg Popovich is important to what they do. His game planning, his understanding of what players on the opposite team they can do, what they can't do, and implementing that into the strategy for Spurs is crazy. Derek White scored 36. Derek White, we don't know who that is, undrafted out of Colorado. And let me say this, DeMar DeRozan, for those of you thinking that DeMar was a star, this should show you why he's not. This playoff series should show you why he's not a star. He could be a great second option on the team. LaMarcus Aldridge is a great second option on the team. You can't have 2 second options and expect to get far in the playoffs. Jokic is showing that he's not the player everybody thought he was. Jokic is not a star. He can't score when he wants to. He doesn't play defense. And if that's your best player, you're not going to win. But I think whoever wins out of the Rockets Warriors, they're going to have a cakewalk. NBA Finals. Now, once they get to the Finals, it might not be so easy. I love the Raptors, man. And it's something in me that's telling me not to go against the Celtics, but man, this is crazy. The East is very interesting to me. Very interesting. The West, not so much. More just the Rockets and the Warriors. But I think Portland Spurs or Portland Denver would be a good series. Don't get me wrong. But that's just not interesting to me. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch those games. The Rockets and Warriors, I'm going to go out of my way. The Celtics and Bucks, I'm going to go out of my way to watch that. I don't know. This is probably the only season where I've really just been like, I really don't know who can win. Especially in the East. You got 4 teams who could really try and win. and then go to the finals. But one thing I have noticed, I was looking this up just to see that the ratings for the NBA playoffs have went down 30%. Could this be the LeBron effect? Superstar not making the playoffs, does that really matter? I think it does. A lot of people, the only NBA they know is LeBron. So that makes sense to me. But that's just crazy to think that it's gone down 30%. Now, we'll see once we get into the later rounds, because I think the Warriors and the Rockets are still going to be high rated. And I know for sure the Celtics and whoever they play is going to be high rated. But we'll see once we get to the NBA Finals what the ratings are. Because if it's a Rockets Raptors, I don't think too many people want to watch that. It's not enough star power. But I don't know. That's something we'll have to see. Yeah, let me know, guys. What are you feeling about this year's playoffs, and what are your expectations moving forward? Do you expect better series? Will we see a Game 7 series in the playoffs this year? Let me know what you think, but don't forget tonight, catch the Rockets. Jazz, I do believe they play at 8:30 or 9:30. They play at 9:30. And then if you want to watch the Bucks and the Pistons, I do believe they play at 7. We can see 2 series ending tonight on TNT, I believe. And then next time, I want to talk about some things that's happening in the NFL. The draft is on Thursday. What are my Broncos going to do at quarterback? Is Kyler Murray still the number 1 pick? Everyone's been talking about that. But is he still the number 1 pick? And why do people say Dwayne Haskins is moving down on the draft board? All these things we'll talk about next time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.